What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the Tengu Planton YouTube channel. And we're back with another deck profile from our Tengumania Store Championship. But this time we got top four, the top four deck profile of Dominik Bartz. What's up, DoBa?
Hi.
So you got top four with Karakuri. So anything you want to say before we go into the deck profile?
I really like the deck. It's not the it's not the slow variant. It's a turbo throw everything out variant. I really liked it. It came in well. Yeah, I will just show you.
All right.
Okay. First of all the important Karakuris. Not much you gotta say to these because consistency, and this one is very good. I play 3 Nishipari because I play machine duplication. Then you need a few non-tuners, which are 2 Nizamu, because they are also good to start with and they can float into anything. Hyper is really good. In theory, you can crash a Nizamu into Ryo, for example, get the Hyper and run over Ryo, because Ryo really sucks against this deck. I mean, it really fucks this deck. Never came up today because I actually didn't face any Ryo at all, but yeah. And 1 Qik, you can play 2, but most of the time 1 is enough. It's sometimes a bit annoying when you draw him and then you can't special him out, but it wasn't really needed. There were a few situations where I still won. It would have been nice, but I still won, so it didn't matter that much. But most of the times you just summon him as the last Karakuri, crash something, and then get something out of grave to finish on another Synchro monster. Yeah, also Nanashik. This one's really cool because it's a level 5 non-tuner. Yeah, of course, if you draw it, it's not too great, even though there are lines, especially with machine duplication, where you can summon it, and where it's actually not even bad because you can draw like 2 cards. The effect is not super important, but sometimes, I mean, you can just read it up. Basically, it was for combo lines where you had multiple level 3 tuners. Start with either instant fusion, for example, to get into 2 level 8s synchros, or if you only start with say a Ninishi and a level 4 and have another tuner, or you have machine duplication plays, you can summon this out to have access to level 8, because otherwise if you only can summon level 4 non-tuner, you can only summon level 7 monsters, and without the Burrito, in my opinion, your boards really lacked strength without it. So yeah. So this was all for the Karakuris, really solid. I wouldn't change much. Maybe you can add in the second Qik. I really wouldn't cut this one out in the duplication variant. In a non-duplication variant, it's probably not needed. Also, I don't play Scython, the level 4 tuner. There were a few situations where it would have been neat, but I also do not like drawing it really. So also in this deck, you have a lot of level 5 non-tuners, so it can even be unusable. So I didn't really want to add it anymore. Yeah. Then I played double Maxi. At first I didn't have it in the deck at all. I wouldn't play 3 because there are a lot of decks where you don't need 3 against, where it doesn't do anything.
Video crushing!
Yeah, this is Umar. I just lost against him in top 4. I hope he can win today.
Old guy, nobody knows me.
Yeah, we're profiling this before the finals.
Yeah. You will see him later in the deck profile. Maybe he will win. Then you will see him as the winner's deck profile.
Winners or second place?
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, double Maxi basically. Because there are a few decks where you really need them to draw into your power stuff to have a retaliation turn against them and just have something to play. Against the slower decks where it's not too great, you just throw it on the first special summon, and of course you side it out, but I felt more comfortable with actually having 2 in the main deck to have something to draw into against the power decks. Then I got 2 Cyber Dragons. It's great to play into stuff. I don't get why people do not play 2 Cyber Dragons, at least in this deck. You can even go up to 3 and I side the third one, because it's good against beatdown decks. It outs Ryo most of the time, and even if you just go second and just have him to not out any of this, he's just a level 5 machine non-tuner, so you can just summon any of your level 3 tuners and combo off with that. Then I want max consistency, so I play triple upstart. I don't get why people do not play this card, do not play it in the deck. Then I play triple instant fusion. A lot of people will probably be molding about this because you don't want to draw the second one and whatever, yeah, but you want to draw the one copy, so I also go into max consistency because whenever I draw this card, I could always make a great combo return and basically never lost. And also avarice exists, so you can make use of the second one, or you can just go into Landois and discard it, or you just have a dead card, which really does not matter because when you resolve it and you get a Burrito and draw more cards anyway, the one card that is dead in your hand doesn't really matter. Then double machine duplication. Your targets are most of the times either Ninishi or Nishipachi, or sometimes in a few rare cases even Inashihi. It came up like once that I summoned this today, which was also decent when I just needed more non-tuners, and you can actually just use two Inashihi together with the tuner just to go into the Bure as well. Yeah, but most of the time, if I had Inashihi, normal summon at level 4, and then machine duplication on this, I could just swarm the board. Same one with instant fusion and the tuner. It was just game over when this came up. Then I'm at double mystical space typhoon. I had 3 in there, and I really wanted to play 3, but I needed to cut something. You can make the case to maybe cut the third instant fusion, but I really like this. I really like power over tech, and you definitely size the third one. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to change a few things, like maybe this is a change, because you really need something to play into the back row decks. But yeah, against the more combo-oriented decks, which I knew were more around today, 2 came in nice. Also a really cool tech was Forbidden Chalice, because before I had in Veilers and I also had in Fiendish Chains, but Forbidden Chalice is really cool because for one you can use it to play into a board. What is most important in this deck is that a lot of people play Ryo. Ryo is really good against you, so you can just Chalice a Ryo and then do your Synchro Summon, and because the effect is already negated on the field, and when they activate the Ryo on the field to negate your summon, it's still negated, so it's really good to play into a Ryo, it's really good to play into other stuff. A few times today even the attack boost came up, that you could just boost your monster so in the damage step so you couldn't crush over it. Also it can negate like Raikou in the damage step, for example, so yeah, it came in really well. Also when you combo first and you draw into it, you could just set it face down to have a monster negating your opponent's turn, so it's really flexible, either going first, either going second. Also I know the shame I don't have it in Ultimate Rare, because I built this very last minute, and same with the Hyper. These were the last minute changes, so these cards are not high rare. I'm very sorry for this.
Could have learned your one in Ultimate.
The staples, Heavy Storm, also Darkhold and Reborn, sorry I do not have them yet. And yeah, the staples, I don't have too much to say to this. Also Book of Moon, Mind Control is amazing, of course. Pot of Avarice, really, really great in this deck. And a small trap lineup, but only the real good ones, like the Solemns and the Miracles. I didn't play Torrential because you want to set up a board that you don't want a Torrential, but your stuff can get killed quite easily sometimes, so that's why I preferred Mirror Force over the Torrential. I feel like maybe adding 1 or 2 more defensive cards, because at the moment I have these 4. I have the Book of Moon, which you can use defensively, and also the Chalice, so I have 7 defensive cards. Maybe I go up to 8. I don't know if it's the 3rd Chalice or if it's another trap, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's even one Veiler that I've considered, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Okay, that's it for the main deck.
Do you want to do extra or side first?
I'm just going to do side first because there were a few things that I've said to the main deck, so I'm just going to show this one. It's relatively simple. I got 2 Veilers, maybe considering putting 1 into the main deck. I didn't really feel like playing 3. Of course, 3rd Maxi, because you have to go to the 3rd one. 3rd Cyber Dragon, I almost always sided this, going 2nd, especially against the mirror match, against everything just as a basic non-tuner, against anything beatdown like, against anything that would play Ryo, for example. Also Goros, because I like having something against the combo decks to draw into with Maxi, otherwise they can just OTK you. Also it's good against beatdown decks. Then I played this one, the Chimeratic Fortress Dragon in the side deck. I have 1 in the extra deck. Great shoutouts to Shooty for that I could borrow this today, I made the second one 0 times, and I even made the first one 0 times. So, yeah.
Great.
D-Fisher. This card was really good in theory. I only bought it once, and there it did not matter really. In theory, it's cool against everything that uses the graveyard, because you can do all your synchro summons to get your stuff into the graveyard, so you don't even have to side out Reborn and Avarice. And besides these two, and maybe Cuic, but you can also set up the grave for Cuic before, and you can just combo off, and afterwards you play down D-Fisher, for example. Or what you also can do is, what is really cool about this, before you combo off, you activate D-Fisher, and if they have Maxi, because it needs to be sent to the graveyard, they would have to chain it, and then you can just decide to not combo off if you don't want to. Also, if D-Fisher is active, they cannot affect Valor use, so especially first turn, this really helps. Also, it's a floodgate you can draw into with Buredo if you do the double Buredo combo, and you draw 2 cards, and you can also draw into this one. I really wanted to play Floodgate. I'm not really fond of like Gozen match. If any, I want to play this, but I'm not really certain if I'm gonna even keep this one. Yeah. Then the third Mystical Space Typhoon. Then I play Triple Decree. I bought it against 2 times against back row decks. I never draw it, but I draw it once actually, but there it didn't really matter. But yeah, in theory it's really good. You just take out your other traps, and against decks like TG, all the monsters don't really do stuff against you, or you can just side in, for example, Valors and Chalice. Also, this is really cool about Chalice, that it works under Decree. Then you still can negate the few monster effects that they have with Valor or Chalice, but without their trap cards, they basically don't do anything against you. Then the Torrential, also against the aggressive decks, you just want to have it, because when you don't have any board, you can just Torrential. And also to just shoot, I always sided this going first, because I really liked having this going first. I didn't really like it having in the main deck. It's cool in the side deck, because you can also with the Buredo combo draw into it. Didn't draw it once today, but I would definitely play that. So yeah, that's for the side deck. And then the extra deck is quite generic, but there were like 1 or 2 changes that I would do. Big surprise, 2 Buredo, 2 Bure, you don't need any more, these are cool. Trish never came up today, but in theory it's really good. You can do it with a level 4 non-tuner, Inashihi, and a level 3 tuner. It didn't happen today, if you have a weird mind control play or whatever. It's really powerful, so I would definitely play it just in case it comes up. Scrap Dragon Stardust, I brought out Stardust once today, never brought out Scrap Dragon because I didn't need to, but when you need it, it's really good. Black Rose Dragon won me 1 game today, really good, because you can just Ninishi, and any level 4 non-tuner Black Rose. This is really good, and then you just clear the board and then you combo off next turn. Then for the Naturias, I play Landois and Beast. I don't play Barkion, because Barkion I cannot summon out without having the level 4 Dog Tuner. Both are really good to make turn 1 if you go first. This of course is a spell to discard, but you have a bunch of spells you can just discard, and it's really good against monster focus decks, because you can just negate their stuff. And Net Beast can first turn save you from Storm, MST on your few traps that you have, Dark Hole, whatever, because Dark Hole is really great against the board that you can put up. And if you have the standard board with a Net Beast and a few traps along with it, it's just auto win. This one I made once today. The effect did not really matter, and in this situation Leviathan Dragon would be better, and I think I'm gonna play this, because without the dog you cannot really make this anyway without stuff like Mind Control or Reborn. This is actually with Mind Control I made it today with the level 3 non-tuner. And in this case, Leviathan would have been fine, and now in top 4 where I lost, I could have made a good play where I could have summoned the Leviathan Dragon because I had Mind Control. So in theory it would have been better today, and also I think in general, because when I played today, I made it once, but I could have also just made a Leviathan Dragon, and this didn't really matter, and you can barely make it, so I would rather cut it in this version. Katastor made a few times, because of course you can just summon it with the Inashihi, and yeah. Fortress Dragon. Never made it actually. I got a few opponents made it against me, of course, but not. I have, but of course you need it. And with 3 Cyber Dragons in total and a lot of machine decks in the format, you definitely need the second one in the side deck. Then I play 1 Cybersaurus. I saw people playing 2, but I don't really have the space, and I think there's more important stuff. If you really need the second instant fusion, then you can just shuffle it back with Avarice. It would have been cool sometimes to have the second one, and maybe with 3-1 you can play a second one, but I didn't really feel like needing it, and there weren't any other cards that I wanted to cut. So yeah, I mean, 1 is definitely enough if you play 2 instant fusion. With 3 you can consider it if you cut something, but then of course you miss out on tech choice like the Trish or the Leviathan that I would play over the spot, or the last tech spot, which actually came up once and won me the game, and this is just super amazing. Tyros. Rank 5. You can basically only make it with Instant Fusion and Cyber Dragon, but this was the exact situation that I had today. I had an Instant Fusion, I had even 2 Cyber Dragon, and the rest of the end was completely unplayable. I didn't have any Karakuri, but I could just summon Cyber Dragon, make Instant Fusion, summon the Tyros, run over their monster. I think they even had a Mirror Force that was useless because it cannot be destroyed by card effects, and then after the battle phase I could just pop the set Mirror Force. It's really amazing, especially with these amount of Cyber Dragons and Instant Fusions in there. I really like playing this. So yeah, that was the deck. All the changes that I've said I would definitely do, and there are a few changes that you maybe can do if you feel like it, but it's also you kind of need to test out the deck. There are a few slower versions, but in the meta game that we are in, and from the kind of decks that I knew the people here to play, I just decided on the aggro version. So if you're looking for a full power version, this is really one to go for. As you saw, for example, I didn't play Genix Neutron, which a lot of people do. In my opinion, it's just too slow. If you really want to combo off, play something like this. If you want to play a slower version, play something with Genix Neutron. Yep. But I thought and I hope I could show you a really cool deck today that was definitely a lot of fun to play. It's quite cheap if you don't go for the high rare stuff, so yeah, definitely try it out if you want.
Right. So you don't have? Do you have any final words and shoutouts to add? Or?
Shoutouts basically to everyone who was here. It was a really cool event. Shoutout to you, obviously, Shudi, for organizing this really cool real life event that I always love to attend, and there will be hopefully a lot more in the future. So yeah, and I will be at the next one as well. It's super fun.
All right. So that was it. Congratulations to your top 4 spot, and hope to see you in the next tournaments.
Yep, bye.
Bye.